Welcome to Rainy Day Rabbit Holes, where we take the history of the West off the rails.
If you like your history unhinged, you are in the right place.
I'm Shay.
And I'm Jody.
Let's fall down the rabbit hole. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to thank you for your continued support, as it means the world to us. And before we get started today, you may have noticed something a little different in our show art, description, and introduction. And we are now Rainy Day Rabbit Holes History Unhinged. We have decided to make a little shift in our direction just because there is too much unhinged history out there to leash ourselves to the Pacific Northwest. Now, we will still feature our favorite place in the country right here in the PNW as much as possible, but now we are also going to bring you the best of the history of Western North America. Think the Wild West, the Oregon Trail, haunted mines, ghost towns, old-timey weirdos. It's going to be great.
Old-timey weirdos. I can't wait.
That's my favorite, is old-timey weirdos.
Yeah.
So if you have a story from the left-hand side of North America that you want us to cover, please email me at shay@rainydayrabbitholes.com.
Do it.
Okay, Jody. Whoa.
Hey, Ruff.
We have a dog with us in the studio today, FYI. So I am currently fostering a little Jack Russell Chihuahua mix named Ruff, whose owner is in the hospital. And so we're just taking care of him until his owner is in a better place. And he is a sweet little boy, but a little bit of a crazy pants dog because Jack Russell.
Yep.
Anyway, so if you hear any weird noises in the background that I haven't been able to edit out, that is the dog. What are you doing? There's nothing in the rug. Quit eating the rug. Where's your Kong? Let's get into this. Okay, Jody. I have
Shay.
yes, that's your name.
Mm-hmm.
Shay is my name.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a story for you that is just, well, weird.
Okay.
Today, we are heading over to Washington's redneck cousin, Idaho.
Redneck cousin.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
We just lost everybody in Idaho. No, I'm kidding, Idahos. We've got rednecks here, too.
Yes. Right here in the town I live in.
Exactly. So anyway, let's start by saying meth is bad, kids. Don't do meth.
Since when?
You're like, I had meth with my coffee.
Yeah. It's how I get through my day. What are you, Nancy Reagan? Just say no? Are you the leader of DARE now?
Don't tell me what to do. You're not my real mom. Okay, let's go. Ruff. What? Do you need up here? Come here. You're being very disruptive to the podcast process. Come here,
Yeah,
buddy.
you were so good until now.
I know. Okay. He just wants to be cuddled with me. He loves me now. All right. Now I forgot where I was. Where am I? As Jody mentioned in her episode about Ruby Ridge, other than militias, one thing that Idaho is well known for is its plentiful hot springs.
Yes.
Up in Ketchum, Idaho, near the Sawtooth National Forest, about an hour and a half drive from Twin Falls, is the Frenchman's Bend Hot Springs. There, 3 pools get colder the closer they get to the creek, and now they're a popular place to soak. But back before good old Google Maps, they were a bit less frequented. One late February day in 1984, a man that Outside Magazine coined Slim Becker, just to preserve his anonymity, was maybe enjoying the methamphetamine a little bit too much. He decided that a hike through the snow to the hot springs sounded like a great idea. He made the trek without incident, jumped in, and settled in to enjoy the soak. After a few hours, though, he realized that something wasn't quite right. He had gotten into the hot springs with all of his clothes on.
And he just realized this?
Yes, after hours. Meth's bad. Meth is bad,
Oh,
kids.
yeah, I forgot.
Now, it was the coldest part of winter. Freezing cold, with plenty of snow on the ground. Slim did not relish the idea of hiking all the way back to Ketchum in wet, soggy clothing.
Oh, my gosh.
So he wiggled out of his sopping wet clothing and laid it out next to the spring to dry.
In the snow.
But remember, yeah, it's February.
Yeah.
It's below freezing. Your clothes ain't gonna dry, buddy.
No.
Instead, they froze solid. So here's Slim, naked and afraid,
Oh my God.
with frozen clothing and no way to get out of there. He hadn't told anyone where he was going. It's the 1980s, so no cell phones, and he is in the middle of the Idaho woods. He's screwed. So what is Slim going to do?
He's going to just walk out naked.
Well, I'll tell you right after this short break. Welcome back. If you want ad-free episodes, bonus content, free merch, and a pet unicorn, because podcast magic knows no bounds.
No bounds. We have several here now.
We do. Please consider subscribing to us either on Patreon or via the Spreaker Supporters Club. Head over to rainydayrabitholes.com/support for more information. Okay, where were we? Oh, that's right. Slim is naked in the hot spring and his clothes are frozen solid. Jody, what would you do in this situation?
I'd just stay in the hot spring till spring because then my clothes will dry.
Well, like you, Slim just figured he'd wait it out.
So I think like a meth head.
Yes, you do. Nice job. What's wrong with you? Eventually, something would come to him. So a few days passed, and he started to get more and more lightheaded. He would very occasionally leave the pool to run down to the creek to drink, but that made his feet freeze, so he limited those excursions. He figured that he was due to get a spring thaw at any moment.
I mean, it was February.
Right. So he waited.
How long?
And waited. After a few more days had passed, he was delirious and probably detoxing from the meth.
Well, that's what I was just thinking. Mm-hmm.
He decided that, damn it, he was going to walk out of there on his own. Eventually. At one point, some snowshoers spotted him and asked him if he needed help. Nope, I'm good, he said. And they went on.
So a naked man barefoot walking through this.
He's in the hot spring.
Oh, he's still in there.
He's sitting in the hot spring.
Got you.
Yeah. A man on a snowmobile stopped to offer assistance, but Slim was determined to do this on his own. The snowmobile guy did give him a bottle of beer, though. That was probably the best beer I'd ever had in my life, Slim later recounted.
So he didn't die.
So Slim was to a point, what with starvation and dehydration, that he was having hallucinations. He claimed that at one point he watched a white wolf stalk and kill a deer. He said that he was so hungry he thought about getting out of the hot spring to take some of the deer meat, but it was just too cold. But overall, he said what he mostly felt was an overwhelming sense of peace.
Huh.
Eventually, in March of 1984, after 28 days in the hot spring, some cross-country skiers stumbled across Slim in his new home. He was gaunt and haunting.
And shriveled up, I'd imagine.
Peeling skin. And here's the weirdest part. He had moss growing on his back. When we pulled him out, he looked like a boiled chicken wing, one of the rescuers said.
Yes. Oh, so gross.
One account said he had lost 60 pounds during his long soak.
Wow.
But later on, he said it was 78 pounds.
Wow.
One member of the police department said that after he was taken to the hospital, he locked himself in the shower and refused to come out. The guy really seemed to love water, he said.
I was going to say. He's like a fish out of water. He's trying to stay wet.
His sister-in-law wasn't too surprised by the incident. She said, his brains are really scrambled. He ate methamphetamines like popcorn.
I can just picture him watching a movie.
Just popping handfuls of... I don't know, what was meth in the 80s? Was it pills, I guess? Because like eating methamphetamines, it turned into like now you smoke it.
Right.
So
I have no idea. I was there in the 80s, but I wasn't methin'. I was not methin'.
You weren't methin'? Mm-mm. That's what the kids say these days. Idaho's Moss Man eventually moved to the Midwest and started a new life. The little town of Ketchum created a Moss Man commemoration and pagan fun fest in honor of the incident.
Wow. And he doesn't even live there anymore.
No. Where participants strip naked and sit in total silence for 5 or 6 hours in the hot spring, then clean up the litter left by other users of the spring throughout the year.
Of course.
There's even a queen and a high priest.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very organized.
It sounds nice. Like, I would do that. Would you go do that?
I was just thinking, when they said queen and high priest, I'm like, whoa, Shay, this is like...
I mean, you could be the queen, I'll be the high priestess.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I agree. Oh, we can start our own. Yes.
Oh, yes. Let's just start our own.
Yes.
We just like come in after them after they've cleaned up the litter.
We're going to bring our cats.
I don't...
Doug and Lynx are going to sit vigil around our...
There you go.
I have dreams of this happening. I know it can't.
Oh, the cat would
but
probably,
I still think it'd be great.
they'd probably jump on our heads to stay warm. So I've been sleeping in the guest room because my husband is sick. And he's been sleeping with the rescue dog so that I have the cat in there. And the cat's thing now is he will walk on my pillow and stand next to my head and wait for me to lift up the comforter so he can go underneath and curl up.
In there.
But he will either lay down, and if I try to pet him, he attacks my hand, or he goes all the way to the bottom of the feet and starts attacking my feet through the sheet.
Oh my God. How can you get any peaceful sleep?
I know. Or then if he does curl up and go to sleep, it'll be for like 30 seconds and then he'll exit out the side door. And this happens multiple times a night. So that's my life right now.
He doesn't settle at night then.
No. He will do cuddles for like tops 3 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get him to be more cuddly, but he treats me like I'm smothering him, which I am. Because I just want to cuddle him.
He's like a teenager whose mom is just
I love him and I kiss him on the face and one day I'm gonna get bit.
Yeah. You need to be like Dougie. Dougie runs up and he'll give me forehead cuddles.
Oh God.
He's so
I love
cute.
that so much. So Outside Magazine eventually tracked the elusive Moss Man down and asked him what he thought about the festival. They named a celebration after me?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I had no idea.
I don't know how to take that. Maybe it's neat.
Maybe it's neat.
One thing, though, I don't like the name Moss Man. It's embarrassing. I've got a job now. People might get the wrong idea about me if they found out I'd lived in the water for a while. Truth of the matter is, I didn't stay in the hot spring just because my pants froze. I think what happened was my feet froze when I was out walking barefoot in the snow, like frostbite. So I decided to stay in the spring till they felt better.
I think what happened was, because I wasn't there, so I'm not sure. This is his recount. I think what happened was, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I said, I guess I was kind of stubborn, but I wanted to walk out of the place on my own power, like a matter of pride.
So he's waiting for the moment.
Oh, rough, dude.
Hey, podcast recording happening.
Dude, no, he's kissing me.
The first hour and a half, he did so swell.
Okay, where was I in my story? You are messing me up, sir. He added, it's also possible that the drugs had a little bit of influence.
Mm-hmm.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Especially the part, I think what happened was, because I don't think I was there, but I might have been there. I don't know.
But all in all, he considered the experience to be a positive one. He said that he would stretch out in the water and watch the snowstorms. It's nice to watch a snowstorm in moonlight. Everything's so quiet. And a deer would come up to me and sniff around, he said. But again, maybe the drugs had a little bit to do with it.
Yeah. It was actually a bear.
And that, my friends, is the story of the Moss Man of Idaho. So 2 takeaways. Don't do meth. And don't get into a hot spring with your clothes on in February.
Amazing. Amazing he's alive, really. Think about it. He didn't freeze to death and he didn't starve to death and he didn't...
28 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was very dehydrated too, because he would rarely get out to go get water. I don't know if he was trying to eat snow or because the hot spring water was probably, I don't know, too minerally or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He detoxed though. So did he ever do drugs again?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's a perfect opportunity not to.
Right. You would think. But
it's 28 days. You're clean.
Yeah. Right.
Like he did a real detox.
That is hardcore. That's what everybody should do when they need to detox. Just go sit in a hot tub for 28 days.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you so much for listening, you guys. We really appreciate it. And please, if you haven't yet, go over to Apple and leave us a 5-star review. And if you can't access Apple, you can leave us a 5-star rating and send us a nice comment on Spotify. It really means the world to us when you reach out and touch us. Not like that, you
No.
Not like that, you perverts.
Shay just gave you consent. That is for her only. Don't say we. Just kidding.
Please do not grope us in public. Thank you. I do like to hug, but just don't make it linger. Starts to get weird. And don't forget, you can find us on all the socials, including Blue Sky and Threads, so reach out and chat. We love to chat. So, okay, we will see you next time, and
see you down the rabbit hole.